And it's not working. This is what I get for not making sure everything is working beforehand. Because I literally just walked in the house. There we go. A few minutes ago. Like, just running to go. Hey, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. It's been a while. I feel a little, it's been a week. I missed a week, so now I feel all out of sorts. And I thought I checked everything, but apparently I did not. So, let's see. Okay, yeah. So tonight, I have with me the Weeble 2. So if you have questions about the Weeble 2, ask away. I'll do my best to answer them. And, yeah, hopefully everything just works. Because we are having lots of storms here in Alaska. So we'll see. But Richard Black, good to see you. Eddie Nunez, hello, hello. Great to see you guys. Let's see who else is here. T and Rocky Raccoon. Hope you're doing well. Alaska VFX. Yeah, I'm getting all kinds of error. And I don't know. Sunrise Water Media. Sounds good, man. Thank you. TDI works. Mark H. Good to see you. Brad Alston. Nice to see ya. Crypto Man. Oh, sorry to hear you lost a video file. Streaming errors. So I'm watching on my phone and it's working. And according to everything on my side, it's good. That does not mean that YouTube might not be having issues. So, but yeah, hope you're all well. So big news, of course, is that Sony delayed their announcement of the next whatever it is camera, which I think is something similar to the ZV-1. Something similar to the ZV-1, but with a... Because, I mean, if you look at this, like, this is the mount here. That would totally fit right there. Like, you could just... and have an APS-C size sensor in there and have a little tiny APS-C size camera, which would actually be pretty sweet. If it's in this form factor, that would be pretty amazing. So, but they delayed that announcement again, probably due to the global chip shortage and just taking forever. Brian Peterson, one excuse. Next time you'll say the green screen is glitching. Shh, Brian. Shush, man. Don't give away all my secrets. Can only view the live chats. Yeah, I think YouTube is having issues today. Because according to this, everything's good on my end. And I'm watching on my phone to make sure. So, hopefully. I mean, well, I wouldn't be able to see it on my phone if it wasn't working. But, you know, could be undersea cable being chewed on by halibut or salmon sharks or something. Hey, Paul Feinberg. Howdy, man. Richmond Ariels, good to see you. So, Sony delayed the launch of the ZV-E10 or the ZE10 or whatever it's going to be called, which I assume is going to be about this form factor. And interchangeable lenses with the APS-C sensor, which would be really cool. I would totally be tempted to buy it if I didn't have a strong feeling that the A7III is coming next, because I really am waiting to see what the A7IV is going to have. So if you're having troubles with the stream, then like maybe shut your browser down and restart it. It's being weird tonight. So, but according to everything's good on my end. Good-ish on my end. Well, now it's not good. Now that I've said that, it's not good. Now it's back to good. Oh, Lord. This could be interesting. So, yeah. According to all this, it's okay on my end. It's probably because I have a whole bunch of people using the internet at my house. Yeah. So let me make sure my phone isn't watching in like full HD as well. Not that should matter, but it shouldn't matter. So if this is your first time on the stream, thanks for being here. First off, thank you for being part of the stream. I appreciate it. But this is mostly a question and answer stream. So if you have questions about anything I've posted on YouTube in recent months, this is a place to ask me and we can have a back and forth conversation about it. And yeah, that's the whole purpose of the stream, because I rarely see, like, I reply to every comment on YouTube, but I rarely, if ever, get to actually see anybody who replies to my reply of their comment. So if you've got a question that you asked and I gave you a response, but then I didn't see it after that, sorry, that's just kind of the way it is. And, you know, I'm sorry. There's not a lot I can do about that. So, and it's, yeah, hopefully it's still working. Mine, I think it's YouTube having issues, because mine just quit on my phone. Everything else is working, and according to my computer, it's okay. It's just, I think it must be YouTube. So, but yeah, I have the Weevil 2 here. Hopefully we can get through a whole stream. And see. Where does Andre asks, where does the Nikon D780 sit on my list of cameras? Better than the Z6? Different than the Z6. Good camera. And, let's see. But it's the Nikon D780 is the DSLR, whereas the Z6 is mirrorless. So you've got a little different body style, a little bigger body style and stuff. But both good cameras. It just kind of more depends. Like the DSLR is really made for taking photos, but with video features, whereas the Z6 is also made for, you know, taking photos, but it's mirrorless. So just the way they operate is a little differently, but either one are very good. Nikon makes some great cameras. So good camera. I think it's if I remember right, it's the same sensor as the Z6. I might be wrong on that, but it's very similar specs wise. So, let's see. Did I miss any other questions? I might have. Oh, GH5 II versus Nikon Z6 II, pros and cons to consider, in my opinion. Andre, so the Z6 II will have better low light performance than the G5 II will, and I think likely better autofocus, just because the G5 is still based on contrast. So yeah, that's what. Brian, yeah, the live stream only works well for people who are subscribed. I hear it works great for people who super chat. I'm just kidding. It probably doesn't make a difference, but we don't know unless somebody tries. Yeah. Echo Hangout, buying a new drone, 2S or Mavic 2 Pro. Echo Hangout, I would go with the 2S between those two, partly because the Mavic 2 Pro is much older. Still is a great drone, but the Air 2S flies better than the Mavic 2 Pro. It handles better than the Mavic 2 Pro, and yeah, that's my drone of choice. I still use my Mavic 2 Pro occasionally when I'm like doing some more heavy duty commercial work, but I've even been doing my Air 2S on commercial work lately, and it's been great. It's been fine. So I would lean toward the Air 2S because it's cheaper for one, and you get a great drone. Very similar image specs. I mean, the same image specs, just slightly different color science because of the Hasselblad name. But yeah, so unless you really need like side obstacle avoidance, which it only works in the Mavic 2 Pro, it only works in the intelligent flight modes anyway. So I would do the Air 2S. Cryptoman, what's the best ND filter for the Air 2 to record, Air 2S to record fireworks at night? Cryptoman, I would not use an ND filter. Yeah, I wouldn't use an ND filter. You don't want anything in front of your lens at night because you want the most amount of light to come through as possible. So, and I mean, if you really had to darken it up a little bit, maybe an ND4, but I wouldn't imagine you need to go any further than an ND4. The trick would be getting exposure set properly to where you get, the fireworks aren't overexposed, and so that would just take a little bit of practice. Hey, Fly Zone. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't use. I wouldn't use an ND filter at night. You shouldn't need an ND filter at night. Richmond Aerials. Any word on my Chicago trip? It's happening, but it's happening at the. So I was supposed to go down last week to do some work. That got postponed till this coming week, next week. So, but that will be a very busy trip. I won't have time to do anything. So then the last week of July is the plan that I should have an extra day to maybe do a get together down at the lakeside somewhere or something like that. Ollie, the stream is a little sloppy. Yes, it is. And it's nothing I can do about it. It's YouTube or whatever, because everything on my end is good, unfortunately. It is what it is. Except for I think everybody in my house is streaming something right now. So we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, I think literally everybody in my house is streaming something at the moment. Crazy. So anyway, we'll see if we can get through. I mean, that shouldn't make that much of a difference for me, but like according to me, everything is okay on my my end here. So I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, so last week of July is the plan for Chicago trip. Maybe. We'll see. Mark H. Hi, man. Yeah, so if you have questions on the Weeble 2, ask away in the chat. I am seriously impressed with this gimbal. Like, Juin has really stepped up their game on the gimbals. And the biggest thing that they did was the screen. It's just like having that is so nice. It's just so nice. I don't remember where I put my. I think it's got to be up here. So let me see. Pull this out. Yeah. Alaska VFX. No. What is the stream crashing? It's probably. So. And for those of you who are curious, like here's the RSC2. So this is DJI's, small portable travel gimbal. Here, there, like sideways. So they're pretty close, but the Juin Weeble, the Weeble 2 still is more compact when you put them side by side as far as packing into a bag or something like that. It is. I mean, you can make this go, down more. This can go down more. And it's interesting. The axis locks are very similar, but they're not the same. So the other thing I really like about this over the RSC2, which I got to do a comparison video, is all of the adjustment levers for this to adjust anything. It's probably got to sound great. Are levers, and so you can really make sure you get them tightened down nice and tight, which I really like. Yeah, the Weeble 2, so good. It is Fly Zone, very nice. Echo Hangout. DJI gimbals are great. This is the DJI RSC2. It's nice. It works well. It responds well. I do kind of like this focus thing here, but it's a little harder to use one-handed than doing the focus wheel. And the other thing that's nice about this is, of course, that the focus wheel basically controls a lot of different aspects of your camera. Basically, whatever your camera will allow this to control, you can control ISO, shutter speed, all that. So The Ronin series, the RSC, the DJI ones, they're good. The algorithms, the smoothness that DJI has programmed into them is really good. But all of that is predicated on the fact that you've got your gimbal balanced really, really well. So, yeah, hopefully you get them. You know, you have to balance it really well. John Burnett, so I think the base cost is $550 right now. And that's, you know, that's pretty much what you see right here. This is the base. And then if you want to get like, you know, the focus motor, the transmission module, so if you want to do image object tracking or anything like that, then then you need to get the Pro model or something like that. And it, you know, goes up from there to like 550 to I think 850, maybe something like that, depending on the options you get. So, and, I will say, I mean, I haven't done a lot of direct testing, but in my testing of this, like comparison testing, in my testing of this, climbing up to that mine twice because I did on 2 different days, I like this a lot, mostly because of this, being able to adjust stuff, not having to go through a menu is really nice. I mean, you go through a menu, but it's all just touch, and you adjust any parameter you want really quick. That is really nice. And then if you add the focus motor, being able to use this as your screen and see what you're shooting, or not the focus motor, the transmission module, it's really, really nice. So, yeah. All right, Mark H. Sorry, man. I don't know what's going on with the streaming tonight. I assume it's a YouTube issue. I mean, it looks like I was dropping frames, but I'm not now. It's hard to say. It just feels like a rough night for YouTube. So John Burnett, do I like the Weeble 2 better than the Moza Aircross 2? I do. I had a Moza Aircross 2. Moza was nice to send it to me. And it's not a bad gimbal, but just as gimbals go, the Aircross 2 feels like a whole generation behind what Juin and DJI are putting out. It just, like, Moza could put out, I think they have the technology and the ability to put out a really good gimbal, but I think they really need to innovate and push themselves a little bit to come up with a better gimbal. I doubt they'll ever send me one again because my review was pretty honest. I don't think they like that, but it was a solid gimbal. I much prefer this because it's much smaller, much more compact. You take this off here and like that's it. There's your whole gimbal. Fits super easy in the front of my bag, as you saw in the video. Hey, Rexel? That goes. Let's see. Yeah, so this is going to be the gimbal night, I guess. Andre, your Weeble S works great. Any reason to upgrade to the Weeble 2? The Weeble 2 as smooth as the Crane 2S? Yes, it is as smooth, and I feel like the motors are a little more powerful. Let's see. You can't see it, but directly behind this pole here is my Weeble S, and it still works. It still works good. And I have beat and abused the heck out of that gimbal, but the axis locks broke, so it makes it a little more challenging to balance it. I can do it, no problem, but it just, yeah, it's an issue there. How heavy is this gimbal? About that heavy. I don't know. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out something I could compare it to. I mean, it feels like it's a couple pounds, 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds maybe. Yeah. Yeah, Crypto Man, that's right. Let's see. That's weird. I think it's YouTube having the issue tonight, Mark, and anybody else that's having issues with the stream. I think it's YouTube is struggling tonight. John Burnett, I take photos with mine on the gimbal. Like when I do the gimbal, I take it with it on the gimbal. But the other thing I do is this. This is who made this? Small Rig? I think this is, yeah. So this is a small rig plate actually made for the RSC or the RS series, the Ronin series. That's what this is made for. And it has an Arca Swiss plate here, so I can just slide my camera on it. Like when the Arca Swiss plate is on, I can just click it on and tighten it down, and everything's balanced good. There's a track teeth in here for the R series, the DJI series that I took out, which is 3 screws. And then this works for the Weevil 2, if I can find the right spot. And you can latch it down just like that. So this is the Weevil 2. You know, you can balance it all out. And it also works with the RSC2. And that means it'll work with the, I gotta remember, there's the button. It'll work with the RS2 as well. So that's what I use, and that way I can just pull the camera in and out. So yeah, it's nice little Arca Swiss compatible plate that works well with both gimbals. So I mean I've taken it with it on the gimbal. It works. I just prefer to do it off the gimbal just because it's easier to see, you know, out the viewfinder off the gimbal. So the stream's not working now. Man, oh man, what a night. Yeah, I think YouTube's having all issues. I'm watching my analytics and it's like going up, people watching, and then it just nothing. So everything must be stopping. And then I've got my quality on my phone turned way down. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. Maybe we won't stream for the whole hour tonight. Let's see. Fly Zone says it's fine on his end, so I don't know. Yeah. What else? There's that. Got a bunch of stuff. I do like, even though the Ronin, the RSC2, the DJI focus motor for theirs is a little different. It's a little smaller. Like here's the two focus motors together right here. You can see them. Oh, there we go. And they're nice. The Juin one is definitely larger, but I love the calibrate button on the Juin focus motor so that it just automatically sets the hard stops. That to me is awesome. Just absolutely fantastic. So, well, Fly Zone, so you asked if I could watch my analytics on my stream. The analytics, it basically shows like how many people are watching, playbacks, chat rate, and the average watch time. It's somewhat helpful. I mean, it's telling me the stream is excellent right now, the excellent connection and all that. The analytics are, you know, not terribly helpful. So let's see. Strange issue. Can I refresh the stream? You know what? I can try. Everybody, sit tight. We're going to try and break the internet real fast here. So don't go anywhere, though. You have to stay here. Okay? Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Are we back yet? Are we back? I'm trying to see. I gotta pull everything back up again. See if we're back. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Are we back? Test. It says excellent connection. Did that break it? We're back? Yay! All right. Okay, so hopefully this is better. We'll see. Yeah, we will see. I restarted everything. The very old adage used by tech support worldwide is, have you tried turning it off and back on again? And that's what I did. So yeah, I think it's got to be YouTube having an issue today, I feel like. So I turned it off and back on, and we'll see. That's about as much as I can do. So, but according to everything on my end, it's good. This is one of those streams that will not see the light of day again after, I guess. Still buffering, really? Anyway. So, hopefully we're back and hopefully we're stay back. It's working on your phone. Oh, maybe that's it, Crypto. It's just your phone. Just your phone. That's the only thing that's working. Anyway, what else is I gonna say? Oh, the other thing Juan has done nicely is this whole case thing. I think they took a cue from DJI and were like, yeah, we should probably put a nice case on there, and you know, and I mean honestly, they're doing really well. Somewhere in here is a lens support. I did see. Okay, so somebody asked me if it's as smooth as the Crane 2S, and I would say yes, depending on the load you put on it. It feels like the motor's power is in between the Weebill S and the Crane 2S, so they're stronger than the Weebill S for sure. They're not as strong as the Crane 2S. So depending on the load you put on it, yes, they are smoother, you know, or not. For me, it's definitely smooth enough for the A7S III and pretty much any of the lenses I have, even up to and including the 70 to 180. It's just the trick of getting it balanced properly with those larger lenses or longer lenses. But yeah, I ran around with it like this, and you know, so I balanced it like this right here, and then I could zoom out and zoom in, no problem, and it wouldn't throw the balance of the gimbal off with the 28 to 75. So that's pretty nice. Just, you know, is what it is. Mark H, the vertical trail. Yeah, so for those of you that aren't, like, if you're not a member of the channel, you can become a channel member, and at the $5 level or $3, $4 level, I don't know, whatever, the Sloan Ranger crew level, you get to see behind the scenes of me going out to make these reviews. So there's a behind the scenes video now, or if you're a patron through Patreon, all linked in the description. You can see the behind the scenes videos of me working to make these videos, which can be very entertaining. Yes. Like this trip to go do this gimbal review was literally like hike out this valley and then turn left and go straight up a mountainside a few thousand feet to where this mine is, and yeah, just holy crap. Brian, how would it work for the big 500 something lens? So actually, hold that thought. I have been curious. Basically, it comes down to, could I get this lens to balance on the gimbal? Like, you know, I mean, obviously I'd have to attach a camera body to it, which I cannot do today. But, oh, there's the lens support. But I have been curious if I could balance this lens on this thing at all, because that would be just incredibly awesome if I could. And so while I'm chatting with all of you, I might just try and balance it on there just for the heck of it. And let's see. I don't think there's anything in here. I have to find a 1/4-20 bolt. So chat amongst yourselves for a second. So I don't know if I can balance the 150 to 500 on here. I'm going to try. It'll be super interesting if I can. That would be amazing, frankly, because this is a big, big lens. And if it works, you all can thank Brian Peterson for asking me to try it. All right, there's that. See, I mean, technically, like, I think it would work in upright modes, mostly, almost exclusively, because of the, come on. Is this, how do I go this? Oh, I put it on backwards. Hold on. Where did my nickel go? Basically, like if you look at this here, and because this arm is down lower, what the heck, there it is. I think it would work because since the arm is lower, the body of the camera would sit kind of up above it a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. It's just a matter of, well, maybe. I might have spoke too soon. It's going to be a supremely front-heavy thing. Yeah, no, I spoke too soon. It's not. It won't work. I have to like counterweight the heck out of it, I think, to make it work. Because not only that, but then like that's as low as that can go, and it's already too top heavy. And adding the camera back here is not going to do much other than hit this arm. So it won't balance a camera with a Tamron 150 to 500. But boy, it would be cool if it would. That would be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? But just for fun, I'll set this here, just so we can all stare at it for the rest of the time. That's weird, David. So tonight has been all kinds of messed up anyway with the YouTube live. It's just been bad anyway. How many millimeters is this lens? MCKZ Media. This is the Tamron 150 to 500. So there's 150 and there's 500. It's not going to balance on this. Now I could balance this on my on the Crane 2S. This would work on that one just because that is so much larger. But yeah, I do Alaska VFX when that's all I have access to. I use a nickel. Thanks, Fly Zone. Appreciate that. I'm blaming it on producer Paul. That's right, producer Paul. I'm blaming it on producer Paul. Let's see. Okay, so there were a couple of questions I had for you all. I posted a poll the other day. Hey, Little Mountain Life. I posted a poll on the channel the other day asking what would be more helpful, like more drone stuff, more drone tutorials and tips and stuff like that, or if it would be camera tips and tutorials. And camera tips and tutorials has won out. If you haven't voted in that poll, please go vote in that poll. I will. No, it didn't work. I can't balance this one, Alaska VFX. But yeah, comment on or vote on that poll because I'm trying to figure out not the direction of the channel, but just kind of what content would be most helpful for you all here in the next upcoming weeks and months. I do have some more reviews coming, of course, but I would like to start doing some more tips and tutorials. And so I was curious too about this, like you got to tell me how many of you would like to see a like street photography POV style video of doing photography in Alaska. Like, it'd be probably landscapes, maybe some wildlife photography, but it'd be like the street photography POV. I don't know if you've watched those kind of videos, but where it's like somebody just walking around the street going, hey, can I take your picture? And they take pictures and show you what it would be like. So I would really be curious if you'd like to see something like that. Like me going out to doing one of these trips and then talking through like, yeah, this is how I do these landscape shots, or this is how I look for things and what I look for when I'm out doing. Good Lord, that's heavy with all of that. It's like, It looks cool though, doesn't it? Doesn't that look impressive? Wouldn't that be amazing if I could balance that on there like that? Oh, it'd be incredible. There's no way. I think it'd be too heavy. No, actually not true. This will do up to 6 kg. So that's 12 pounds or 6 pounds. Oh, maybe it's 7 pounds is what they said, but it'll easily do that. And that 4 pounds there, pound and a half for the camera. It'd be pretty close. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, you didn't see the leaked Mavic 3 pics. Shows body looks something like a bent for extra. I did see those pictures, yeah. And it'll be interesting to see what the Mavic 3 looks like. I'm very curious. T and Rocky Raccoon, your pick for a future lesson would be storytelling. The different shots you include to tell a story, layout of clips, mix of drone and other cameras. Okay. T and Rocky Raccoon. That is one of the things that I want to do is like talk about the storytelling aspect of the videos I make, and like how I decide what shots I'm going to put in, drone shots, etc., and how I look and approach kind of those things, because I do definitely have an approach for it. I've realized. You also think street photography POV would be cool. Okay, so does T and Rocky Raccoon. Editing, etc. Okay. Paul, it was blaming it on producer Paul. We're blaming the whole stream on producer Paul tonight. Even though you've got absolutely nothing to do with this stream, we're going to blame it on you anyway, because you're a producer. Yes, Paul. Also, don't come up during the 9th, 10th, or 11th. At least we can't collab in the 9th, 10th, or 11th because I won't be here. I'll be up north, further up north, much further up north. So POV stuff would be cool. All right, Alaska VFX, cool. All right, maybe that'll be something I do here. I think it would be pretty sweet, personally. Let's stick a GoPro right here, or something, and we'll go do a whole bunch of like, yeah, this is a good angle. That's a good angle. Hey, look, there's a bear. Hopefully from a distance. Could be fun. David Kusada, is you mounted GoPro to the transom of your Kerman 44, very fast sailboat, metal protective case bolted down with all metal gear, flying down the backside of Catalina. Oh, that sounds cool, David. That sounds really cool, actually. Little Mountain Life, you just picked up your Tamron 28 to 200 for travel on your A7C. Great choice. Love that lens. Very, very nice lens. Mark H. Yes, street photography POV would be great. A day in the life of. Okay, cool. So then the other question I have for you all is the last two videos I've released in the last 2 weeks, like the review of this lens and the review of the Weebill 2 were different in the fact that I didn't just sit and go, hey, this is what it does, and then show you B-roll while I was talking about it, what it does, but it was very much more like, we're going to go test this thing and try it out, and kind of bringing you on the journey of, going to test these things and review them, and then giving my review toward the end. Have you liked that, or have you not? I need to know that in the chat. Let me know if you like that style of review better than just the, like, here's the info. So, yeah. David said you wiped out. Oh no, you lost the GoPro? Oh, dude, I'm so sorry. Bummer. Oh, that's terrible. Thank you, FlyZone. Yeah, POV. All right. The nice thing about POV is it will include drone shots. Will it? I guess it will. I hadn't thought about that yet. Oh yeah, it'll include drone shots because I use drones. Part of the thing. So okay. Andre, you would love to go over street photography. So street photography in Alaska, it'd be very different. It'd be like, look, here's me running down this path to go up this mountainside to see what's over on the other side, if there's anything worth seeing. And then half the time it's, oh, well, there's nothing worth seeing over here. Back down the mountainside, over to the other mountainside. Is there anything up over there worth it? Nope. Okay, yep. Anyway, it is. Hey, Ray Kelly. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi, man. I hope you're doing well. You like the cave, the spiral motion shot? Yeah, I want to go back up to that cave. I couldn't go very far back in there because I didn't have a bright light. but I would like to. How about uploading a cinematic Alaskan backpacking or fishing adventure? All right. Vonner, you've liked the last couple of videos? Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what YouTube is doing, Paul. It's so weird lately. Yeah, I hear you there, David. Like, it's such a bummer when you lose great footage. Like, the camera, you're like, cameras can be replaced. They can be. And the GoPros are meant to, like, break or be sacrificial. But losing the footage is what really, really sucks. So, last couple videos are cool. Good. All right. Glad to hear it. So I've been working on doing more on the reviews, doing more storytelling while also including the relevant information to the device, lens, whatever. And so I'm curious to see how you've responded to it, how you like it or don't like it, and the easiest way I've been able to think about it is like, here's this lens, we're going to go test it out, and then taking you through the journey of testing it, and then also kind of, talking about, I like this part of it as I've, tested it in this situation, like the kayaking and eagle stuff or the airplane stuff, and, or the gimbal, I'm like walking up the side of a mountain and the image tracking works, the object tracking works. So I used it to film myself going up here, and then, going into the cave and coming out of the mine shaft and going, okay, the focus works, the focus motor works, and I really like the calibrate button, stuff like that. It's been a little bit of a mind warp for me about how to include what information on the journey of testing it, and then, what parts to just kind of like, hey, here's the information. Yeah, it's good. It's sharp. It's good. And I don't have a lot of like, this sucks, or this is a terrible piece of equipment videos on my channel, because those videos don't get made. I'm not one of those guys like, send me everything and I'll just put a video out about it. If I hate it, I hate it. If I love it, I love it. Okay. Alaska VFX. Film all of my reviews in Hatcher's Pass. They'll all be successful. Oh man, I wish VFX. But it is a great spot to go film, that's for sure. Brian's like, enjoy the adventure test of the review. Yeah, you might be in a few of those future ones. Great video. Thanks, Paul. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad to hear that you all have been enjoying that more story-driven approach to reviews. I don't know. I've gone back and forth on it so many times, because I do get comments occasionally where people are like, just tell me what's good and what's bad about it already. I'm like, I don't care about any of this other stuff. And I'm like, well, I am telling you what's good and what's bad about this lens or this gimbal. The good things, maybe the not so good things as I'm going, but it's woven into the story. And yeah, I don't know how successful that, it's different. I don't see a lot of reviewers doing that exactly the same. Oh my gosh, it's almost time to wrap the stream up already. Wow. So next week, as we're sort of wrapping it up, I may not be able to stream. I'm not sure. I will be working in the lower 48, but I'm not sure exactly what I will be doing or where I will be doing it and when I will be doing it. So I'm going to try and do my best to stream from my hotel wherever I am at the time. But I'm going to do my best to do the same time, same place next week, streaming from wherever I am working on the filming projects that I'll be working on in the lower 48. But there is a chance I may not be able to. So I will, of course, alert you all on the channel. Last week I was going to try and film from the top of that mountain because I did have cell signal up there. The problem was it was blowing a really hard wind, and I had nothing to be able to really take care of that wind, and so you wouldn't be able to hear me at all. And so I'm going to post a new poll, and once the stream is done, I'll post the poll, and I very much appreciate it if you go and vote on that poll, and let me know what you thought of the last few videos. And yeah, which, by the way, is very interesting trying to do, because essentially it means I have to go out and do enough initial testing of whatever thing I'm working with. Like, I have to go out and play with it and work with it enough to go, okay, I have a grasp of what it's capable of and its strengths and maybe a few of the weaknesses, and then I have to go out and actually film the review. So, like, a lot of times I'll get something in. Let's I don't have it down here. Anyway, you know, like this Weeble 2, I got it literally 2 days before the launch day, so I was a few days late on releasing the video. And I got down in here and I was like setting it up, balancing it, testing the screen, testing image tracking, you know, doing the things that I could do with it to see, like, okay, yeah, this is, you know, this works this way, that works that way. And even trying to figure out like the USB charging. If you use power delivery, it recharges really quickly. If you don't use power delivery, it takes a long time because it's a pretty sizable battery built in here. And, you know, even figuring out, you know, the joystick and all of those things before I went the first time to film the review, which was terrible weather and cloudy. And so I didn't actually end up filming that day because it started raining. Same spot, just super rainy and cloudy and not as good. So then the next day I went back because it was beautiful and clear and filmed the review. Got back, realized I didn't communicate clearly on a few different aspects. And so I went back to an area that's close by there, which is the shots that you see of me standing on like a rock with a little lake behind me, and filmed those parts so that I could put together a complete review. Anyway, it just, yeah, it was a lot of work. Partly because I got the gimbal so late in the game, shipping or something, I don't know. But anyway, but I do really appreciate June sending it to me because it's a fantastic gimbal. I'm really excited to use it. On an unrelated side note, I may be selling an RSC2 soon, which comes with a focus motor and the Raven Eye transmission system. We'll see. I'm not sure. Alex, I'm not. I am not. I barely have time to convert any of my own stuff. I have several that I've been meaning to do, and I just haven't had time to do them yet. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm not taking any of that on at the moment. So, good to see you, though. There will be some new content coming on that channel. So stay tuned to that channel. Yeah. All right, folks. I am going to wrap it up a little bit early tonight because my father-in-law, mother-in-law are in town, whom I love dearly. They're some of my favorite people on the planet. I know not everybody can say that about their in-laws, but I absolutely love my in-laws. They're fantastic people. And because I will only be here for about half the time they're here in Alaska because of this job that got bumped, I'm gonna wrap it up just a little early and go spend the evening and you know, the rest of this week with them, while also trying to film a few other things that I've got to put out. But thank you all for being patient, especially the beginning of the stream when things were not working as they should have with Wellspring, with the YouTube. It just, my Lord, I don't know what was going on. But thank you for hanging in there and hanging out with me tonight. I will try and be back same time next week, but different place because I will definitely not be here. And as my internet crashes, I guess it's a good time to wrap up the stream. So thank you all for being part of this channel. Thank you for your comments, your watching the videos, your feedback. I appreciate it deeply, and I appreciate it a lot. So be safe, be smart. I will see you again soon in the next video. And till then, cheers.